Hello, greetings, engineers. Welcome back to our survival playthrough with our capstone project ship, still under construction here. We've got a lot of the essential parts in place, but with the ship being so massive, it still requires a lot more in order to get around. I think we're at like 23 jump drives or something on the ship, and we still only have about a 7,000 kilometer jump range. So it's not very much of a jump range, just because we've got so many resources on us. And all these blocks that we have that are placed and unbuilt still count towards that mass. So we need to start using some of those materials in order to get our ship at a lighter weight and a little more in a finished state as well. So we'll start working on that. And while we're working on it, let's take a look around at some of the other things that we've got going on here. So our bridge layout, we still haven't changed anything as far as this goes yet. We're going to put some more items back here, more blocks and things to look like we've got science stations and control panels going on. Over here, I thought I would slope the wall in a little bit, so we still need to build all that up. It'll make things a bit easier to see once that is done. Going through here, this will be an entrance into a small conference room, and then it'll be the same thing mirrored on the other side. Going through here is your doorway out into a hall, and then this will be another conference room or captain's quarters or something, the back here, and then we can go downstairs to the, I guess it's the central deck here. We've got this main corridor that we laid out before. I need to weld this up and, of course, get it all colored in. And I think I want to use more of these exact same angled blocks going up and over. So we kind of cut it off at that 1.5 block height, and we don't end up with squares everywhere. That way it looks a little more interesting. We've got our medical room, which we've laid out over here. I think this is going to change with these doors, or not, rather the wall itself. I'm probably going to turn that into a solid full block. That way we can use that, I think it's pipe A or pipe B, to get that taper up top, which means this wall portion right here will be consumed, which should be fine really, because it looks kind of awkward the way this is exposed, that remote control, and the way the window falls in there. So we should be able to fix that pretty well. And we could probably use that same pipe blocking or one of the interior pieces around here just to cover it up a bit more. With that said, we may need to move this row of medical beds back one just so we have a bit more space, but we do have the space for that. We've got a whole extra couple of blocks here of a dead zone, so I think that'll be in a good place for us. We can readjust that once we get to it. But this is something that my buddy worked on while I was gone. Then this is going to be the engineering scene area. One of the things that we've encountered is using all of the jump drives for jumping around the system is actually maxing out the two large reactors that I have. So that's the 600 megawatts that those produce. So these are another two large reactors put in place, and then we've got another 3 jump drives in here as well. If we don't need them all, fantastic, but I think this will look good as far as set pieces go. Part deflector dish array, part warp core for it. It just needs to look interesting as an engineering section, and I think this will look pretty cool. So that looks pretty cool to me, and I guess we just need to pull some conveyor tubing over and get this stuff welded. So let's get to that kind of thing. Get that going. Turn you on. Oh, perfect timing. Restart in 5 minutes. That's gonna suck. With this being my new ceiling going through here, this jump drive's definitely, or not the jump drive, this gravity gen's definitely gotta go, so I might as well knock that out now. We're missing reactors for here. Let's grab another welder here. This welder should be able to get the jump drive. There we go. And we can always help it along too. We're still producing parts for it. So this will be good, and then we can walk things down. I was talking about this gravity generator, so we can grab it and we can actually flip it over. We can put another gravity generator in here, and we'll just flip it upside down. Unfortunately, that gravity generator only has one contact point, and that's on its base. But it can actually do reverse gravity. So with it being upside down, or you just flip the speed at which it's going to accelerate you, the gravity, so to speak, to minus. You can even look in my my little HUD down there. If I drop, it'll flip me over, and because the gravity is going quote-unquote down for it. So we'll fix this gravity generator. But we swap that acceleration over to -1g, and then we're quote-unquote right side back up. So that'll go there. These still need to be welded and piped too, because there's no connection going through. Let's hand jam these. We can kind of probably give this central area some lights or something. Normally in Star Trek ships you see a vertically oriented warp core with some sort of lights going through to it. And they always say it's like, oh, that's your matter antimatter reaction chamber, and that's what the pulsing lights and stuff are. So we could do something similar here. I think the NX Enterprise actually had a horizontal layout too. We'll take these pipes. When this gets welded up, I'll see where its connection is. I'm not really familiar with it, but I know that's got to have a connection. And we can come out here, and then we can do a T. And then we can pipe this forward. Those sorters look really cool, but they'll also limit the direction and flow of things. But I don't want to have to deal with that nonsense. I want things to flow as they should. That looks pretty interesting. And if I do some sort of block off here, I can make this chamber airtight. And I'm just below that bridge area. That looks pretty cool. Let's weld this up. And that way we can provide fuel to those reactors once they come back online too. I really like some of these DLC blocks. They're really good. I haven't really tried to not use them. Who was it? It's, Major John, I think it is, on YouTube. Builds some really amazing ships, and he just uses the vanilla blocks only. So if you ever want good ideas for things, that's definitely a creator that you want to keep an eye on. I really like using these DLC blocks just because they add that extra something to it. I mean, they're there. I might as well use them, and that's what we're making here. We're making a set piece that's still somewhat functional. Because I don't think this looks right. Let's double check this one. Yeah, because I want that to be like this, where it's up, so it looks like we've got something going through here with this piping. Let's do that. I guess we can cut off one and transfer to the other. How about that? And of course, this will be incorrect. That's fine, because I don't need it to be there. I do want to maintain dead space back here for our modules that we're going to put on. So you can go... Is that right? So let's weld this guy up real fast, because I'll be able to see what it looks like again. This has different conveyor ports than the original one. So I want this feature going through on the outside. You should have a port facing up, which should be this port. I think that'll be alright. Let's pop a welder back on here. Then we can kick it on, and we can finish this off. As long as we have those modules on the inside, I don't really care. These stairs aren't going to be useful for anything. We can take these guys down. And then our pipes, we'll just have to go up and over. That'll be fine. We'll put our cap back on there, and then this can come up. It'll look silly, but I think that'll also add something to the design, so it'll kind of stand out a bit more. See what that looks like. Since we're just making things up, sometimes I guess a circuitous route to get to a destination gives it that much better of a look. And then it also depends on how we decide that we want to put, or what colors that we want to put on here to make these things pop out a bit more, besides this drab gray that we've got. Yeah, so like here, this one will have to come up and here, and then this will be that T. Let's use this guy because I want that there. Or I can put the four-way, rather. That way I can still have that, I guess, a release valve or whatever it's supposed to be. So now this refinery is piped up, which is what I want. And conveniently enough, we're right next to another jump drive here. So we can put this welder in place. We can turn this on, and that way we can have that welder work another jump drive for us. And we will need... don't have anything over here, but we can drop a welder here to get this other reactor online for us. So let's do that. Build my reactor.
Energy critical.
2 of my welders I've got, and then I've got another jump drive over here, so let's pull some more pipes through. Let's grab some materials. So I don't have anything in the build planner presently, and I need material for this conveyor. So with it out, I'm going to go over to a port where I can draw materials, middle mouse button a couple of times, and you see my inventory fill up. And with that, it withdrew the components for the pipe or whatever item I had in place. So we'll do that. We're too high, so that'll be a good place for my welder. Because we drew out all these components, we'll have that, and we should have for the welder as well. And if not, just another right click in that build planner middle mouse button to draw out, and then we can weld again. Turn our welder on, and we'll have the machinery work for us to get that jump drive online. This, I guess, is just going to be a caution zone. I can probably put up some sort of fence, or not really a fence, a railing through here, or some kind of computer thing. But I think that'll look kind of interesting, just to have a gap through there. It's like, ooh, what's going on here? I don't know. I also want, like, railway going up or something. Here's my floor. Let's come over here real fast. This is my floor. So as I come in, I'll have, like, the shuttle bay over here. And as you come in, you'll have the hallway, and I can come into the main engineering section, and I think it'll immediately turn into the graded rails, the graded catwalks, and I can take that here, and then you can have stairs down to this lower floor to work the rest of the machinery. But I guess it'll start off, I guess, around the outside of the room so that you can do other ancillary maintenance. And I can block off this room so it's not the full deck down here, but it's just the smaller area. Anything that I don't end up utilizing in space, I can cut off and make not usable. Knowing, too, that there's a walk bay coming through here. So I think that'll look pretty good. Just a matter of throwing things in there to make it look like something it's not. Like, what does a warp core look like? What does your deflector dish look like? It's just sci-fi mumbo-jumbo, but I've actually got functional parts that are fulfilling something that looks like it's supposed to, with a couple of reactors, a couple of refineries, some jump drives in between. I think that looks pretty good. Come back over this way, and we can work on our hallway a bit. So this part's built up. I've got my little shuttlecraft out there, so we can close that. I need components and interior plate. And I can weld up the hallway. I'll need to paint it the right color, too. Painting is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, just because I don't have a paint tool. Maybe I do want that. Let's do... And it looks like it's a doorway or something, or... I don't know. We'll just do that. Load these guys up, see what they look like. Almost like you should be able to... No, that alignment's terrible, because we have that pipe going across the bottom. I wanted these parts to line up, but they don't. So I'll put this one in instead. Or... Yeah, that'll be alright. I'll put this in. And that'll be the same going all the way down. Unless we have a... Which way is this sign? That is the correct way up. It is supposed to be up there. So that'll just have to be how it looks. So if we do this, this should be lighter than actual blocks. What if we did... How that looks. I want to break up the wall a little bit so it's not just this this lighting coming across. Although I do like the iridescent lighting coming from up here. I'm trying to break it up every once in a while. So if we do like 3 or 4 panels coming across, maybe we want one more coming through. I don't really like this vent piece in there. Let's cut these two. Arg. This is so much easier in creative mode where you can just place something and see it immediately. Like so. That looks pretty decent. I think that looks good. And the idea is for it to be that half height. So let's place that just to get me started. And if I do this, it'll give me the half height all the way up and over, and still some sort of interesting decoration up there. I think that'll look interesting. Might be a little repetitive, though. I wish we had a block that did that same kind of thing. We've got the block that'll fit into that with this right here. But to create that over here, I mean, I guess I can do... It's not going to be the same. That's the full block over. How else would I recreate that? I could use 7 here. Yeah, because that's the wrong elevation for it. We would come up too high before we begin that transition. And then otherwise I could do this. And that's two different types of top. And I don't want that. Let's see what else we can do in here. We have... No, that's going to block it off, block it off. Let's see what else we have. We could do this, which would break it up a little bit every once in a while. And we could put something with the lights in between there, because we will want lights in here. And maybe even start off with this. Let's go here. We started here and here. We could put a light panel in. Or not a panel, rather a full inset light. So we'll want lights in here. And I'm thinking, too, that if I put lights in certain places, so the lights can be on the side of the ship that they're on. So if they're on your left, if we're walking down the hall, I want them to either be towards the front, so that you're always going one way. I don't know how best to describe that. I want the lights to be situated consistently throughout the ship so that you can find your way through if you lose yourself. I'm going to have like LCDs with kind of maps, but they'll be of poor quality. So, I don't know, we'll see. I'll try to think through the lighting scheme a bit. But I definitely want lights in places. So if that's a light there, I've got this vent which is going to pressurize us, so I don't care too much about that. But a light here, and then this is the other half of this framing. I guess I could just use a pipe junction or something. This looks okay-ish. I'm fine with this part and this part. I don't really like that vented piece, but it is what it is. And then I can continue with these guys going down the row. I'll probably do another light here and at every doorway, because we have to go down to get to the doorway. And how many blocks is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4 separated. So that's going to be 10 meters. I think these only separate to 10 meters of light anyway, so it'll be about time for another light. Set light. Take a look at what this looks like actually on the ground. We'll have some open area. That's fine. I don't like this hanging bit over here, so these guys have got to go. Yeah, you cannot be the B variant. You have to be, I guess it's the A, yeah. Get that feel of walking through here. So we'll have this open up. And that's kind of awkward, going immediately into the light corridor. So maybe I push this here, and then we just have that much more corridor going through. I think that's what I'm going to do. This will still give us our grand entry area. We can have a panel here before we go out. We're using the exploit with the curved glass, so this is actually airtight through here. Like, no air will escape past this point. So this vent should always be pressurized for us. I might even turn it around so I can see the green. Let's do that. I think I'll go with this one here. I'll just have the green facing that way. No control panel there. That looks kind of awkward on the floor, but that should be good. We're yellow right now because we're clearly open to space. I'm not too worried about that. But this should be good as we come in. Let's turn off our suit lights. We'll see what it looks like. So we'll have a light source there and a light source there. Let's configure those. We'll just hit K on this panel, and those are insets lights. Let's turn that off. I want to see the hidden ones because I've got a bunch of hidden inset lights that I'm using for other lighting features. These guys will be interior lights, and I'll label them as a group as I configure them. But just for these two at the moment, we can crank up. Ooh, they actually have a 20 radius. Let's do that. It'll minimize the amount of light that I have to do since they're like 25 PCU apiece. We can drop that intensity down. Let's try a 3 and maybe make it a little warmer. We'll yellow it up. Actually, that's not too bad. Let's make it slightly blue in here at the moment. So that's a lot of light. My lights are actually off at the moment. So this whole area is very well lit. I'm okay with the one here and then this guy. That way, I won't have to put too many lights throughout the ship. That 20-meter spread is fantastic. I don't like this hanging bit here again on either of them. I thought I would be okay with it, but no. This B variant is gone. I need the A variant, please. There we go. But our corridor is looking really gray, and the hard part with this is going to be painting it on the inside while we're on the inside. So don't want gray. Let's see if we, I guess it's not desaturate, it's devalue this. I want this to be gray-blue floor? What do you look like? If I have the floor be darker, I can make the walls a light gray color. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain in the butt. I can always pull that up. See, by using the middle mouse button, I can paint with the phantom block here. So if I just look at whatever I would be touching, so I'm touching that gray side with the vertical panel, and middle mouse button, I can change its color. You can also pick colors by Shift P, and then I can replace it how it was. So this, I want these guys to be that dark blue too. It'll be a pain. I may even have to grind them out and make them the right color as I put them in. We'll see. We'll see. So the dark color should give me kind of like a sense of where one thing is, so it's not all the same all over. And I want a lighter color on the walls. And I kind of want this to be a nicer ship, so we can do maybe like a carbon fiber or something on the inside. We get a bit of texture with all of this. Let's see if we do a light gray with carbon fiber. And ideally, you would place these blocks with the appropriate color. So here, with this cube where it's at, I'm moving slightly up, so it's going to affect the cube above it. If I move my direction down just a little bit, I'll be on that button panel, and then down a little bit more, it'll actually affect the block that it's sitting on. I do want the button panel, I do want the ones above, then I want these guys too. I may even do the roof a different gray. Let's see here. Oh. Did not mean to jetpack. Let's be careful as we paint. That way I don't have to paint over things too much. There we go. And you're gray. You're the wrong gray. Paint tool is so much easier to work with on these. Let's see. This wall will go. It'll be more or less the same as over here. I think I might make it the exact same all the way down. Let's do that. And we'll hide the audio-visual looking stuff. On the other side, it is lockers the whole way. We'll break it up a bit. Don't want the AV ports. Let's do that one. So these blocks, usually I'm only using one face of them at a time, and then I don't care about the others. But on this particular wall, we have both of the faces we're using. So I could put down like flat panels themselves in here, which might be something that I want. So I may even want, I don't like the carbon fiber as far as this goes, but I could put like an LCD here with like information about the patient in front of them. That might be interesting. And then this other part would be here, but let's do weldless armor. And that way you could have an LCD sticking there. And then this would also be panel. And then we can put a standard text panel here. I would probably put this guy in. It'll fit right there. Might pop out a little bit. It'll occupy that whole space, but I could put a partial screen in there. It might look a little janky, but see, the other one is this screen. That part will probably look good too. Let's take this down. And what can we do about this top portion here? We do the same. I mean, this could work coming across here, or we could just leave it that extra height that we have. Or we could use, not this block, this guy coming across. That's not going to work there. What if we did this? This will still get us elevation in here. So you or you. Kind of like this angle a bit better. But I just don't like that same repeated pattern all over the place coming through. Feels like too much of a good thing. Ooh, and this being our wall, we'll have to move. We might have to move some of those cryopods and stuff around. So with that's there, this can come. I need this wall to match and meet this. It's not going to work there. It looks like I do have to press this over. Just so I don't have this weird... So I can put this half plate in here. Actually, I can put... When I'm spinning plates, I can put a panel in, actually, because we have these weird floating panels now. So this would be even lighter since this isn't a structural area. And I do want to start thinking about how light things are. I put this armor panel in. I think that'll look okay. And where's this light at? That's okay there. I've got one there. I'm probably due for a light somewhere around here. It's definitely feeling a lot more claustrophobic now. I do think I might want to push these beds and stuff out. Yeah, I'm thinking so. I have the space for it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Back this way and see what we've got in our corridor. Turn my lights off. I'm liking this. We've got that overhead. That'll be a good indication of where our room is, too. Where the overhead drops down. I guess we can also do... I like these slopes here for the stairs. Because that gives you an indication of, hey, there's something up ahead. I'm wondering if I should do that here for the doors as well. And that way I know there's a door there. Like, let's come this way. I mean, that should be more than enough of an indication, this overhead piece. I think I'll take this out. I'll just leave these for the stairs. Because I definitely can't have a super thick beam coming across. This should be alright. Say, hey, there's a door there. Yeah, but I can't use this one because it'll look like crap on the other side. Pipeworks B had this panel on one side and that on the other, so I could use there. Well, I don't think it matters what's on this side because, well, I say that because I'm going to have panels on one piece. Let's take this down. I'm going to have LCDs on one part and then steel plate panels on another. So this would actually be an LCD, so this one does matter. Let's go Pipeworks here. And then we'll actually have a panel. That panel go here. And then this one go... Actually could use this. And then here. Let's see what that looks like. And that looks interesting in the hall. Let's turn off my lights. Definitely have some interesting textures that we're looking at. Build this guy up too. We're darker on the inside here. I mean, this is okay. It's going to get another text panel over it, so let's put that in place. You can get the text panel. You can get the text panel. There we go. That way we don't really have to care what's behind them too much. It looks decent. I want to push all these beds back. That way I have a little more space to run through there. That looks pretty neat. I like that. So we can have like a strip of 4 lights, then we can have some of this go on for 3 panels, and then like another strip of 4 lights. Like 3 or 4. That way we don't have too much of the same stuff going around everywhere. Let's focus over here. Because there's so much going on. Let's just go back to our sci-fi interior. There we go. I can do 1, 2, 3 of you. I wasn't even paying attention to what kind of paint I have, because I think that's the flat. It's even a different color gray. I should have paid a bit more attention. Got the... This is the carbon fiber over there, and then this is... I think this might just be the plane. We'll see here. Let's do our picker. So I'll just go for a cube so I can see the full volume, know what I'm looking at. Shift P, and I'll pick the color back. This and this need to be, yeah, there we go. Change that color. You need to be changed too, and that way all of these panels have my carbon fiber white color that I've got going through here. And I should probably change the doors color. Let's do that. Let's make you a darker gray. Or how about the darker? Darker. Here we go. That way the doorway is just going to pop up a bit more. That looks pretty interesting. I don't even think the roof needs to be a different color. I think this will be fine the way it is. I just got a darker floor, so I know what's the floor. And then the ceiling will just be like that overhead. That way you can have a sense of something above you. And it's just a matter of the camera perspective. There's actually a ton of space above the engineer. But like you can see here, this is the half block, or the full block of space that I'm walking through. So I've actually got a ton of space, but just being in this area, it looks too tight. So I think the extra block makes it look nicer as you run around in first person, which is what you're typically going to do anyways. It's what I typically do anyways. So lights, and we want, let's go take our white panel back. This is going to be interior blocks here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be one. I just don't want to put anything in front of that port just so I can get access to it right now. I'm going to put something else there later if I need to, but not at the moment. We can weld these guys up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll probably have to move that med bay around. And we can do that next since we're working this side of the ship. That looks good. Ooh, I wonder if I can make this darker too. Let's take a look at that. We'll do our picker again. Oop, pull out a block. We'll do our picker. And we'll do a Shift P, grab that. And we can see what we have. We've got that gray. Let's do it with the carbon fiber. We can make that door with carbon fiber. We can carbon fiber up these. Let's see here. 0. That looks okay. I'll accept that. It's very obvious that there's something there, and it's like, oh, hey, it's a doorway. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. And then if we come inside here, our floor, or hallway rather, is blue out here. And I might just make the floor a gray color. And that way, the hallway is noticeably different than a room, because I won't be able to keep this consistent in here. And I definitely need a space to breathe as soon as I come in. This is very claustrophobic. So we can push back this wall of stuff. I don't need that. Every one of these can move back one. So these desks and the medical stations. Those can all move back. And I don't want one as soon as I come in there, but I can put a medical station here. So medical station here, here, and here. That should be okay. And then I had desks. 7. Do a couple of desks in there. And then I had a wall behind them. And again, I can use the sci-fi walls. The sci-fi, or I guess any of these interior walls, are going to be lighter in mass than just the regular plates I've got. Alternatively, I could just use plates here, just to cap off the area. See what this looks like, that face coming through. Should be largely covered up. Okay, that feels pretty decent. And now I have to do something about lights in here, too. I'm going to need... I wonder if this beam should just continue through. Where's this beam at? It's not a real beam, and it's okay where it's at. It can... I guess it can look like a pseudo-structure from the inside. It doesn't have to have real-world relevance. We don't need that up there either. Let's do... Yes, overhead. Let's put this in here. Let's take that color. The darker one, please. There we go. They can take that color. Let's do it twice, maybe? Yeah. And then I can do a light here. Light will be facing the same way. It'll just be... It's that overhang looking shape. Let's see how this looks. Those lights are kind of close. I don't really... My lights are on. I could even push this over one more. I'll push this over. I don't need the med bay right there. All this was a pseudo wall. I wonder if I should almost just take away this medical station. And that way it'll break up the space a bit more. I will. That way these desks can service those two med bays. And this will be like a divider for the room. And what did I have out here? We'll put another one of these. Pipeworks B, if it looks okay. Because now I see all the sides of it. Pipeworks B. You were good there. Is that right? And let's put an inset light back in. A bit more. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a lot of light coming through. That's well illuminated. I like that. These the same color gray. Close enough, I guess. Could be slightly darker. It's okay. It's different than the wall. And that's what I want it to be, is different from the wall. All the textures are going to change the color a bit, too. We'll just stick with this. That way I don't have to go and make custom colors for everything. That's the default medium gray there. And then we'll just paint it as best we can on everything that we can. And anything that I missed, we'll get these weird weld scenes in here. Because clearly I missed all of that. I think when I was coming by, yeah, clearly I was painting this panel and these LCDs as we go by. So let's do, this is my picker. There. We just have to be careful because we don't have that paint tool. And then we can get our wall whites back in the picker. And then not pink, or not to... Ooh, that's going to be... Yeah, that's all right. Weldless is what we want on these panels. But I thought I just picked the opposite wall here, which should have been the carbon fiber. You're carbon fiber. You are carbon fiber. You are not. What do I have right now? I've got weldless right now. Let's get rid of the carbon fiber and see what you look like. It takes away some of the sheen, but it's consistent. What do you have up here? We can do carbon fiber overhead, I guess. We'll see. We might even strip what's overhead, too. And you guys all up top. And then you guys here will be the whiter color. We'll just have to be careful as we come around and build everything. It's probably easiest if we just build it correctly the first time, but since I don't know what I'm doing, this is going to be the correct way the first time. That looks pretty good for a corridor. I like that. That was a lot of work just to get this a little bit done. We got our doorway in here. We've got this more expansive area. I like that. We're going to need another light over here, which is fine. I can bring, it should be, yeah, here. I can bring that light across into the office. We'll mix these guys and that so it can come through here. There. And that'll bleed into this office area too. Inset lights. Crank you up. Intensity somewhere around there so we're not super bright. And then we'll adjust our colors. There we go. Take this block. And we don't need... More than likely don't need these guys here. So we'll take them off. Well, these plates. We'll pull these for now. I can always pull them off. Then I want to color them the right way. We will pick again, and let's... Looks like it got the furniture there. Don't want it to get the furniture. There. Paint that. Come underneath. Because these are nice half blocks, I can actually fit under a lot of the stuff. I should get those. And then missing these guys here along this back row. I can see a bit more I need to get. There, that looks different. That's different. That's different. That's different. That's plastic, and now you are not. So that should make our floor look good once we add the plates for it. Grab those. Having that gravity on is pretty nice. Let's hop up. All right, well, I've got my nice gray floor going. Kind of want I always kind of like these to be red. I don't know why. Maybe they should be blue? That's kind of jarring. What if this is a pretty blue. That's not the blue I wanted. You're pretty blue. What if I made you, well, this? So we've got a gray blue in there, so we're not too jarring on our colors. That looks neat. I want this to move. Probably rotate it around. I do like the other one, how it looks too. Let's go take a look at it. This is the old school. So let's see here. If I take you down. So if I put it here, you can just walk in and heal yourself. I kind of like this because it's easy to use. Or I could use this one. If I put it like so, you'd have to come in and use that panel. I almost want it to be like this, so you could just touch and go. If I moved it here, I can push those. I can't really push those cryopods back. I can attach this from that thruster side over there. If I pull you in, like so. That way you block off the area. Is that blocked off? It is. I like that. And then we can go to the cryopods as a separate thing. I think that works better. Do I not have interior plate? I do not. Let's go grab. Go grab one, but I've got all these other stuff on me. If I do this, and then I can have a connection here or here. I've got a chain coming through here, and I can just pipe it down and over. That'll be good. And I'll get rid of that. And if you didn't know, too, you can also get materials through the cryopod. Just hop inside and withdraw everything that you need from it. And you can use it that way. I don't know if it's necessarily faster than running back out there. Cryopod, let's draw again. Medical components take up a lot of space. In inventory, draw from build planner. Exit and build. So that should be pretty cool too. Come inside, and we can just immediately heal and then turn around if we want. That should be good. We can put like a little door frame here too, kind of cover up that space. And this is one thing that I learned on a recent ship build that I did, that I don't want my ceiling being the exterior hull. And that's because whatever the exterior hull is will be the same as your ceiling. So if you've got something that's dirtier on the outside and you want it cleaner on the inside, well, tough, because it's a shared wall. So that's kind of the issue with these windows. These are going to be exterior windows. This is exterior wall right here. So I'll think of something to do for that as we come to it. It'll be the fight between what is exterior and interior. Same thing here. I can do... don't like this. You're gone. You're gone. I'd rather... what do you... I want that. Change my floor. I usually do this, so it's more of a corner. That's going to be exposed up there, though. Oh, I can put something there. That'll be fine. Or, here's another one. That way it's squared up. And it's more opening. And then we have a fight between exterior and interior colors again. So we've got this weldless out here, and then this should all be weldless too. It just looks like it's different. That's because this is an actual block, as opposed to something else that was textured there. I think that looks okay. And I can heal up while I'm here too, since I'm out of energy again. Yeah, you're not piped up. I was like, why isn't my H2 or my O2 refueling? And that's because we're not piped up. I can run the wall through here. So if I get rid of you, and I just come out this way, I don't think I need that many. I can always put more if I need to. That should be good enough. So you can be... The backside here is my corridor wall. And this can be tubing. These don't have to be airtight, but I also don't want the ugly side to be facing in. I don't want to see it. Like, I don't want to see that here. That should be okay. And I can leave that as a T. Components. I know you're piped. Give me components. You. The planner, I don't know why you're acting up on me, but you are. And our med bay should be operational now. There we go. I hopped into the cryo tube, so it refilled my oxygen because it was piped, but now I can see that's refilling me too. So that looks pretty good. And my lights are on. Let's turn them off. We can do a quick walk. That was a lot of work in this corridor, but I think it looks pretty good. I think that looks really smooth. I like that. We'll just have to continue that down this main path. And then we'll build this section out in engineering too. But now we're getting into a lot of the time-consuming decorative portions. I think that'll be just as fun as the exterior hull, and it's not even done yet either. There's a ton to do there. So until next time, go forth and build great things. See you then.